He's not going to make a deal unless he ends up with more houses than you do.
Did you know that Parker Brothers originally rejected the Monopoly game, citing 52 fundamental playing flaws? Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton, and welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be learning more about Monopoly.
Our whole game portfolio is centered around the family and fun experiences and bringing people together. So Monopoly is that iconic game that everybody knows, and people gather around, whether it's friends, families, and I guess people that are really competitive.
Two interesting facts about Monopoly are that 250 million copies of the game have been sold worldwide, and that a standard game of Monopoly has $15,140 in it.
Its forerunner was invented over 100 years ago, and Monopoly itself was first published in 1935 in the height of the Great Depression. And despite the fact that about 25% of all workers had lost their jobs, Monopoly became the most popular game in history almost immediately. For a long time, it didn't change at all. In 1935, it was fixed, and all the values on the board were based on monetary conditions in 1935. $1,500, for example, was a typical annual wage back then.
Then you moved to
Kentucky.
Give me one.
Something I've noticed is that people play with many different rules that aren't actually in the directions. Can you tell us about some of these?
To put all the money the bank collects on chance and community chest under free parking. Whoever lands on free parking gets that money. Well, the reason why that's not in the regular game is it defeats its purpose, which is to bankrupt the other players as quickly as possible.
I'm not sure I've ever actually finished a game of Monopoly. How long is a game typically supposed to last?
Well, with the new speed die, a typical game of Monopoly lasts under 90 minutes because the speed die increases the rate at which properties are acquired and also the rate at which the big rents get collected at the end. Here in tournament play, I would say a number of games are going to be over in about 65 to 70 minutes. Even though there's a 90-minute time limit, about half of them will end prior to the time limit.
World records are maintained for the longest game in a treehouse, 286 hours, underground, 100 hours, in a bathtub, 99 hours, and upside down, 36 hours. The longest Monopoly game ever played was 1,680 hours long. That is 70 straight days. Are there any strategies to winning?
First, you buy every property you land on, even if you don't like the property. The reason is you need trading material to get what you want. Secondly, early in the game, if you're in jail, you should pay to get out of jail as quickly as possible because you want to be circulating on the board in order to buy property. But late in the game, if you go to jail, you want to stay because while you're in jail, you're permitted to collect rents on your own property. Best color groups on the board, the oranges and the reds, and the reason for that is because they lie an ideal distance in front of jail and therefore they get landed on when players come out of jail far more often.
That was a close game, though.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully your game will improve, Rebecca.
I hope so.